Good morning. Man, I love spring. Hasn't it been wonderful? Today is sunshiny. It's already warm enough to keep the doors open, really. Love it, love it, love it. So happy Passover to my Christian friends, and Passover on a full moon, that's got to be a thing, right? I mean, gee, many Christmas. Hang on while I do a couple of technical things. Get this stream shared out to everybody. If I can figure it out anyway. Here we go. Share. Copy link. So, anybody do anything fun for the full moon? I honestly didn't. I really just didn't do anything. I've been so freaking busy with everything that what the heck? This is so weird. Facebook changes their crap every 5 minutes. I've honestly been just so freaking busy with everything that I just really didn't do anything. I really just didn't. Here we go. All right, now that that's out of the way. What's new? Let's see, what's new? It's Passover. It's full moon. Again, that's totally got to be a thing. I don't follow the Christian practice, so I don't know what kind of a thing it is, but surely it's a thing. It is spring. Spring, spring, spring. Everybody's getting their little stimulus checks other than me. Of all the stimulus checks that have gone out, I've gotten one. I have not gotten any more. And yes, I meet the criteria to get them, but I don't get them. So, but that's okay, because I can take it off my taxes. Whatever. Good for you if you got one. Use it wisely. Use it to further yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, it's unplanned money. If you don't have to have it to keep the roof on your head or your lights on, you know, if you've been managing to keep those things going, it's unplanned money. Use it to further your position. Use it to further yourself. That's what I actually had some bills I was going to pay off with mine if the powers that be saw fit that I deserve one, which evidently I don't, because like I said, of all the stimulus checks I've gotten, I got the first one. That's the only one I ever got. But yeah, you know, bump yourself with it if you can. If you don't have to have it, like I said, to keep the lights on or keep the roof over your head, bump yourself up. Start that business. You know, plan that freaking ultimate garden. Build a greenhouse. Buy a canner. Buy a dehydrator. You know, buy a manual crank meat grinder. I mean, I can think of lots of ways to use that kind of money. Because, you know, I don't know if you keep up with the news like I do. And I don't keep up with the mainstream news. I go down. I go down and see what's crawling on the floor. And it appears as though Mr. Gates is wanting to become a farmer. He's buying up all this farmland. Now, you know that he was or is currently developing meat-free meat, vegetable-based meat, which is a perfect name, perfectly contradictory to itself, like all forms of government or corporate, all the things that have led this country and continue leading this country into the ground. Vegetable-based meat. So, the conspiracy is, and he is truly, he is buying up all this farmland. That is a fact. Okay, that's a fact. The conspiracies come into why. I don't know why. I know he's developing this vegetable-based meat, and I guess he figures if he's growing the vegetables himself, it'll be cheaper, which is true. But what's he plan on do? I mean, what's the plan? These farmers who have been hit hard for the last few years. Okay, we went through that flood. They lost their ass there. The growing seasons have sucked. The weather has just beaten the piss out of all of them. And then some of them, Bill Gates comes knocking at the door and says, hey, I'll give you whatever X amount of money to buy this farm off of you. And some of them have no choice but to go, okay, I'll take it. And then what are they going to do? Because as we travel down the conspiracy road with this thing, Bill Gates is also a big UBI fan, as is most of the billionaires, to be perfectly honest. Which, if that's not a red flag walking on two legs, I don't know what is. Uniform basic, unified, united, something basic income, uniform basic income, something like that. Everybody's going to get $1,400 a month. Uniform basic income. Yeah. A lot of other countries do it. There's pros and there's cons. Bernie Sanders has got it all planned. He's got it all figured out. All we had to do was ask him. He's got it all figured out. You know what? Here's the deal. Because as a group of people, Americans in general won't fight back, you ain't going to have a fucking choice anyway. You're going to get what you get. Because you won't fight back. One person can't fight back. 10 people can't fight back. It takes everybody to fight back. And the fact of the matter is, at the very least, I'm sorry, I think it's about 60%, but some people say 40%. At least that many people don't even know what's going on to begin with. They think they know what. They only watch mainstream news, so they know what they know based on news that is censored. They will not delve beyond the line of what is mainstream. And that is what they count on. They know that. They know that. It's what they count on. And that's why I love, and I hope I don't get it wrong, that's why I love my Gen Z kids. Is that the latest? Is that the ones that are in their 20s right now? Early 20s? My youngest falls in. That is why I love that group. Because right now, they're still real young. But trust me, them little suckers, they crawl on the bottom of the news, and they they pay attention. They pay attention. And it's going to be them. It's going to be them that sticks the man where it hurts. And I'm going to sit back in my rocking chair with my cup of coffee and just watch the whole thing go down. It'll be fabulous. Fabulous. Power to them. Good for them. You know, none of us had the guts. None of us could get off our asses and put the government, put the powers that be, put the man where he freaking needs to be. We sit in our chair, lazy boys, and bitch. But those Gen Zers, and I think it's Gen Zs. I think that's what they call them. This newest generation. Yeah, they ain't scared. They ain't scared at all. No, they are not. I mean, look what they did with the stock market. And that wasn't nothing. But boy, did they shake up the boat. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So anyway, something to keep your eye out on. Old Bill Gates and his farmland. And, you know, the Chinese have been buying up farmland too. That's kind of being ignored for some reason. I don't know why. Sure is strange that Gates and the Chinese. Boy, there's sure a lot of connections between Gates and the Chinese, isn't there? Yeah, there is. That relationship has come up more than once. So Passover, a lot of families are celebrating that today. Our Jewish families are having big dinners. That is wonderful. So I hope they all have a happy Passover. Leading us into Easter, we celebrated Ostara last weekend. That was wonderful. I celebrated it anyway. It was great. It's been great. It's been a great spring. You know, COVID's still there. Okay, so we all know COVID's not gone. But, you know, as more people get vaccinated, and I know that the courts are starting to transition back into opening back up. You know, this is a good thing and this is a bad thing. Personally, from my point of view, I love having court via Zoom. My boss and I are just feet from each other. I can listen and hear what is being said during court, and am usually right on preparing whatever it is before the time to file even happens. And that's nice. That is nice. A lot less. The court doesn't wait as long. Sometimes they're waiting on me. Sometimes it's an I'll stop till I do what I have to do. And if I'm a floor above him, you know, the delay. But we like it. I know there's some judges that really like it. There's some judges that don't like it. I wish they would keep the option open. I wish the Supreme Court would just say, hey, you know what? Do what you want. Because there are times, like with regular dockets, regular everyday dockets, the Zoom or the WebEx court is great. You can Zoom through them. You know, I can understand for trials and things of that nature, special hearings. You know, there are times where in person is better, would be better. I can see where a judge would think they are better. I kind of just wish they would just kind of float in the middle. I really do. A lot of people having to go back to work if they can find work, or maybe they've been working at home. I kind of think, though, that companies, you know, and this is a trend that went on. I mean, I remember gosh, has it been that long? 12 years ago, when I was actually going to go into human resources, the trend to VO, virtual office, work remotely, whatever you want to call it, was starting to pick up pace then. Because companies were finding that their costs were lower. Hey, Pepper, how are you? That their costs were lower by, not having to have offices. It was better on their workers. Their workers were less stressed. I mean, there were just many, many benefits from working remotely. And, and that was, like I said, 12 years ago. And now that companies were kind of forced to do that, they may have seen some benefits to it. So it could be that a lot of people will remain remote. So definitely a thing. I would love it if I can't do my job remotely. I could. We are supposed to be paperless, okay? Or that's the trend. That's the direction that they're going, is that everything goes paperless. And we are supposed to be moving closer and closer towards that trend, but we are just not paperless enough for me to be able to work from home. We just aren't. I just still have to access physical files and things of that nature. But I would love it. I would love to work from home. I would love it. I am more productive. If I had access to my entire office and all my resources, I would get tons more. It is so distracting at work with the phones ringing and the people and the so much crap. My boss can't ever get anything done at work. He's on the phone or visiting or meeting with somebody almost the entire time. Whatever. I hope whatever happens with people that it's what they want and they're happy. And then there's so many people that lost their jobs. There were people, I don't think people understand the amount of people that are out of work. Okay. I don't think they do. And there's just no jobs to get. A lot of people got COVID and were sick for 2 or 3 weeks and lost their jobs due to that. Oh, well, that's good. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. See, and I'm blessed, though. My job is very accommodating to my condition. I can get up when I need to get up. I can sit down when I need to sit down. I could lay down if I had to. Nobody would say a word about it. So I'm but you're right. There are other jobs that aren't like that. And there is, if you are retail, customer service, if you're one that works for restaurant industry or places like what are they? Like Casey's, okay? Convenience stores. You can't do that at home, so you're out of work unless you're at work. So, and I've never understood that. Walmart, for instance, why do their people not have stools to sit on? What the fuck? That's bullshit. Aldi's does. Aldi's cashiers. Now, Aldi's is owned, by a Dutch company. So there you go. America, I don't know where we started this mentality of working people to death. But Walmart, they should have stools to sit on. Nobody, Casey's, Quick Trips, whatever, they need stools to sit on. They can't stand there for freaking 8 hours. It's bullshit. Oh, can you hear him? Can you hear my rooster? We're lucky he's not right outside my window. I don't know. I don't know when it started. I don't know why. I know who started it. Some fucking rich white man. That's who started it. I can tell you that right now. They're always the ones that come up with the great ideas. My headband, yeah, it's kind of being funky. It's got chickens on it, see? That's super cool. It's actually supposed to be like a big bow, but I'm not a big bow person. I bought this from a small business, local small business. Big 3 headpieces, I think. Big 3 headpieces. They have big bows on. They're cute as hell, but I'm just not a big bow person. So I undid mine and made it just a tie. So I like it better. But today it's not. My head is not being headband friendly today. So the weather is kicking everybody's ass. I'm so sorry for all y'all down south. Tornadoes and floods. I saw a video on TikTok today. Poor guy. His entire property was just, it looked like a good 3 feet underwater. His greenhouse was in the middle of it. Terrible. He didn't know what he was going to say. Oh, hey, Heroic Prepper. Thank you for subscribing. We were just talking about this crazy weather. But yeah, so he didn't know, he didn't know what he lost out of his greenhouse because of that flood. And those are things you got to think about. He looked like he lived pretty much right by the river. So, my question was, did you get some tornadoes, Pepper? In tornadoes, that is the one thing that people just don't get. They, road damage, yeah. They know tornadoes come through, and they know, yeah, oh yeah, totally insane. They know tornadoes come through, but they don't understand what can happen. These things can be devastating. And even when something does go through that's devastating, like the one that happened, years ago? Was it Sedalia or something? They had to wait 2 weeks before even one store could open in order to get any food or anything. So, people underestimate, what if you lose your home? And, canning is great. And I'm a real supporter of canning. I can a lot. But you can't, that can be part of your prepping, but it can't be all of your prepping. Because number one, home canned goods are good 3 to 5 years, sometimes more. It depends. There are things that will last a long time, 20 years even. But mostly, home canned food's going to last you 3 to 5 years. Now, I use mine as a rotating stock. We eat out of hours on a regular basis. I do still store commercially canned foods, dehydrated foods, and things of that nature. Because here's the thing. I am not worried too much about flooding. I'm not in an area that's going to flood. Not really in an earthquake area. The possibility is there if the New Madrid hit at a 7 or an 8. I could get a little bit, okay? My biggest threat as a natural disaster is tornadoes. And, oh, really? Alabama got wind damage? Yeah, so did North Alabama. I was going to say, Alabama pretty much got hit pretty good. But if a tornado came through here and took my house out, and all my stuff is in my cellar, so let's say my house just tumbles down on top of my cellar, a lot of that glass is going to get broke. It's not going to survive, but my cans will. As long as I could dig down in there and get a hold of some cans, I've got food. And like I said, I am also not one. I do have some things that are long-term storage down there. And when I talk about long-term storage, I mean 25 years. Okay. But the majority of my stash is there to last me to the next growing season. So I keep no less than 6 months worth of food down there. I can get by on 6 months worth of food because I also store seeds. So that in combination with my rotating stock and my tin cans and my dehydrator and storing seeds, you know, we're going to be fine. We're all going to go on diets, but we're going to be fine. And of course, I have my own water source. I have a self-renewing well that is attached to a spring. How do I store seeds? I store them I vac pack them. I've got one of those vac packers. It vacuums the air out and seals it. Yeah. The biggest thing with seeds is keeping the moisture out and temperature. So they're stored in my cellar in the dark, backpacked. And, but you know what? I've got some seeds. Of course, those seeds are not meant to be stored. I keep seeds in jars though, until, you know, I gather seeds at the end of the season to plant next year. So, and it's that time I need to go through. But I order seeds every year, not necessarily because I'm going to grow, but because I want to store back. So that's something I do. That way I've got now. I am also very aware of the plants that I have on my property. I only have 0.76 of an acre, so I have 3/4 of an acre. So I've got a pretty big lot. And I know what grows here. And over the years, I have encouraged things to grow areas. Am I frozen? I've encouraged things to grow in areas, specifically because I want them available to me if something happens. So, but I have quite a few nutritional choices that just grow on my land that would keep me from starving to death. I have protein and I have fruit. And I have plants that are very high in vitamins. You know, lamb's quarter is more nutritional than spinach. And I guarantee that if you didn't mow your grass for a week, you'd have lamb's quarter in your yard. Guarantee it. Because it grows everywhere. It's like grass. It's everywhere. There ain't nowhere they ain't got lamb's quarter. Except for maybe where it snows. Sprouts are good. You've got to sort. You've got to have the seeds to make sprouts. Sprouts, and that's a good side gig. That's a big thing. That's a trend right now. People are selling sprouts. I actually looked into it there for a minute. I just did not think in the area. If I lived closer to a city, I think it would have been better. But I just, in my area, I don't know that it would be very lucrative. But yeah, sprouts is a total thing. Total thing. Good for your chickens too. All your poultry, actually. It sure is. So, with the weather being crazy, and you all know, because I've told you that all of this is being caused by the solar minimum and the poles migrating, and our geomagnetic or Schumann resonance or geomagnetic field is cockeyed, whacked out, and I mean, just what? Was it last week? We had a giant solar storm come our way, but it did skip us. They're now clocking a near Earth NEA, near Earth asteroid. And with the last time it passed, because that's the only time they can get their information is when it comes close enough for us to get it. They originally thought it would probably hit us in 2064, but now they've put it off 40 more years. They don't think it will hit us for another 100 years. So unless I live to be 150, I'm going to miss out on that. But my grandson, so, and so this is what I'm saying. I've got to make sure that I pass these things down. I pass this knowledge down, because it is not me necessarily that is going to have to utilize this knowledge of being prepared and self-sustaining. It's not necessarily going to be me. Okay? But it might be my grandkids. And it might be my great-grandkids. And I don't want them not having a freaking clue. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. Prepping encompasses a lot of things, and part of it is making sure you're passing that knowledge down. So that your kids don't suffer any more than they have to. So what's everybody got planned for today? Anything? I need to go out. I wanted to take the chicks out. The chicks are kind of getting big. Okay, so I got the turkeys out. The little turkeys are out. They're doing groovy. Well, if you don't have kids, then I don't know. I guess I have kids, so I worry about my kids. If you don't have kids, I guess you don't have to worry about kids. But anyway, I took my turkeys out last weekend, a little early, but they've done great. They have done well. Well, that's enough, right, Pepper? That's enough. They've done really well. And these chicks, I was able to split them up. So there's fewer. I have 4 brooders back there, and there's fewer in each brooder. But I really wanted to get them out. So I am thinking about getting them out today. I really am considering it, getting them out of my house. They're pretty feathered out. And my thing is, though, I want to get them integrated with the baby turkeys while they're baby enough not to be dicks to each other. That's my thing. Once the turkeys get bigger, once they get about the size of a hen, I'm going to put them in with my game birds is what I'm going to do with them. And we'll see. I'm going to try. I don't know if Petey's going to agree with that. Petey's my peacock. And then there's the guinea too. The guinea's almost a bigger... I'm about to let that guinea go, though. She drives me crazy. He, she, I honestly don't know what it is, but it squawks constantly. He can be kind of a bigger dick than the peacock. So it may be that I put him in there and I have to take him back out too. I'm hoping, because I don't have my turkey pen built yet. That won't come till later on. Because like I said, we're still, I still got to work on that pen out there, getting the new net up and all of that. We got to build the turkey run. So Trump just exposed who Q is. Who are they? I didn't see it. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. I think I did see something, but I didn't catch it. But I saw something about Trump and Q. But I'll have to look. Let's see. Let's just look right now. Let's just catch up on that. I haven't really I've been watching other things other than Trump and that kind of stuff. Trump exposes Q. I've been watching weather and things like that. Well, hell. QAnon and Trump exposed. Donald Trump, Q, and the secret war against the deep state, conspiracy theory or truth? Yeah. I'm not seeing it. John Bolton with his cock tucked under between his legs. John Bolton. I don't know. Here's the thing about QAnon. Doug Hall has I know. That's funny. Here's the thing about Q. Q turned out to be a big fucking joke, if you ask me. I don't know whether Trump is involved with it or not. I totally can see where he would be. It's not like I go, oh, there's no way. That's not happening. He probably fucking is involved. But it has no freaking backing. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then nothing ever happens. Bullshit. That's what I think about that. I mean, I'm all for it. Expose the deep state. Freaking Rome needs to fall. Rome needs to fall. Our government is beyond repair. Beyond. There is no fixing it. There is no one going to get voted in to fix it. Trump was not even able, he wasn't even going to be able to fix it. He sure did open our eyes to a lot. I don't give a shit what you say about it. Now we're back to, nobody knows. Who knows what they're doing? That's it. Screw the conspiracy. Get off your asses and let's take them down or shut the fuck up and take it. That's where I'm at. Like I said at the beginning of this, one person isn't going to do it. 10 people, 100 people, everybody's got to get a grip and take it down and rebuild it. And that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. So why sit? So here's where I sit. Why sit and bitch about it? Why sit and worry about it? Nothing I can do. I can sit here and do podcast after podcast telling you how crappy the government is, because you ought to know that already. It's not going to do any good. So fuck it. I am preparing myself for when it inevitably crashes. Because it's gonna. It's gonna. We are in such a horrible state. And people just are happy, and they're buying, and they're just living their lives, and they're going to the bars, and they're just opening back up, and they're just freaking clueless. Drives me insane. That's fine. I'm not clueless. I might be insane. Whatever. It is what it is. So all I can do is save my own. I'm not rich about losing billions of dollars. So that's not happening. So I don't got to worry about that. It isn't going to be a big fall to the bottom for me. Okay. I'll suffer a bump on the head. That's it. It's not going to destroy me. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I miss having ducks. I'm vaccinated. I don't worry about it too much. Yeah, I can still get it, but it's probably not going to kill me. So that's fine. I can't. You miss eating in a restaurant? I don't necessarily. I don't. You know what? I wasn't a people person to begin with, so I don't really care about going out and socializing. For me, the virus made it much easier to say no because people didn't question it. So that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've been vaccinated for quite a while, and I'm good, and I'm fine, and it was great, and it was no big deal, and whatever. And the whole virus thing, that's a whole nother rant for me, because there are too many freaking cockeyed factors about that too. One main factor, I can't help but say it again. I say it every week. I know I do. That's true. I say it every week. I'm going to say it again this week because this is the one thing. One thing. How is it this is so freaking contagious? So horribly contagious. But people with spouses that are positive, and not only positive, but very sick, got very sick. And they lived with their people, took care of their people, and never got it. Not that they were asymptomatic and positive. They never tested positive. How is that? Someone needs to explain to me, how is that? I digress. So the corona, the Chinese virus, that's all a bad subject for me too. And I can understand antibody my ass. Sorry, Pepper. Antibody my ass. I don't buy it. I do not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if people do or not. But I'm just trying to say, the whole thing was played out as bullshit from the get-go. We have to lock down, but you can go to Walmart. It's okay, because you can't get the Rona at the Walmart. What? I'm not going to go down that tangent. It's a bad subject. Let's just all focus on the fact that it's opening back up slowly, but surely. And I think as it opens back up, we're going to see more and more we're going to see more and more things that have gone wrong over the past year. We're going to see just really how bad things are, how there really are no jobs, how people are really homeless. These are things that mainstream society is ignoring, completely ignoring. Completely ignoring. But that's what we're good at. And that's what is going to be our downfall. The fact that we are so good at ignoring things. But that's okay. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing anybody can do about it. I can sit here and rant and rave. And just like with the coronavirus, when something goes down, people will message me, Nana, you already called this. You knew it was happening. So, did it cause you to prepare yourself anymore? If it didn't, then who cares? Oh, yeah? I don't have any real... Well, I have friends. I have online friends. I have more online friends. Oh, yeah. Homeless numbers are crazy. That is part of the reason they're pushing this UBI. Because of the homeless problem. It really is. That's one way to solve the homeless problem. Not that $1,400 a month. I mean, it depends on where you live. People in California can't live on $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month is rent on a freaking closet. Same with New York. So, yeah, that's not going to solve any problems for them at all. So anyway, that is that. We need to watch our weather. You need to really pay attention to what's going to happen this year. It's going to be hot. It's going to be dry for up here with us in Missouri, in the mid-states. South's going to get flooding. Hurricanes are going to be bananas. Tornadoes are going to be bananas. The upper central states are going to get inundated with floods again. Mark my word, it's just going to continue to get worse. So, are you depressed? Don't be depressed. I mean, I don't know. I have friends. I don't see them. They all live in the city. I'm sure you have friends too, Pepper. Your birthday's on April Fool's Day. That's like, what, Tuesday? Is that Tuesday? I don't require. I like seeing my friends. I like talking to my friends, but I do not require the company of other humans to make myself okay. Oh, Thursday. Okay. I just don't. I like, for my kids, I like seeing my kids. But I'm just not that. I just do not require that. I could totally be a hermit in the mountains in a cave and be perfectly happy. I totally could. I have to have internet, though. I do have to have internet because I do like keeping up with what's going on in the world. But as far as physical face-to-face being with people, I do not require it at all. At all. So anyway, I think, I don't know. I think maybe I am going to just attempt to take those chicks outside. Get them out of my back room. They're probably going to be cold, but they'll be all right. I don't think that the turkeys are going to be bigger than them by quite a bit, but I don't think that they're going to hurt them. I have frozen pepper fry. Ooh, yummy. That is like one of my faves. That sounds super good. All right, you're saving it for your birthday, or are you going to eat it today? I would eat it today. I would totally eat it today. Totally. I love that. My grandma used to buy those all the time. They weren't Pepperidge Farm, though. I don't know what brand they were. They came in a little plastic container, and it was kept in the refrigerator, and it was so good. Oh, for your birthday? Yeah, shit, I'd eat that sucker today. I wish I was there to eat it with you. I really do. Your damn homework. It's all going to be worth it, Pepper. I know it sucks. I was doing college, and at one time I was doing college and working 2 part-time jobs. Ooh, see, now I like lemon. That would be good for me too. So I know, I get it. Totally get it. It sucked. But I'm so glad I did it. That's the thing. I'm so glad I did it. You know, college was a great experience for me and taught me a lot of things as far as how to think. How to think, and how to do things critically. Yeah. Most of, though, at least for the first year, was shit I should have learned in high school. That's the other thing, our education system. Forget about it. You have to do summer school, spine month break in, spring break in May. Did you see what happened in Florida? Oh, Lord. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all that it happened. It's just, see how we are? See how mainstream society is. They have no sense. They don't have sense God gave a goose. So it's just done. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get to my chores for the day. Pepper, have a good time doing that homework. Just get it done. Just get it done. Then it'll be done. That's the best way. But you guys have a great Passover today. And make sure you stay abreast of what's going on with your weather in the area that you live in. And, oh, I forgot one more thing. Did you know that I'm compiling a book? Did you know, Pepper, that I'm compiling a book? You see some scroll at the bottom. The last one says an email account. Be in Nana's book at gmails.com. I am compiling. You remember the old church cookbooks where everybody sent in recipes and they compiled them into a compendium and put them all together and then sold the cookbooks? I am doing that with spells and holistic recipes. It can be anything. Send in your favorite, preferably one you wrote yourself, spell, ritual, holistic recipe, maybe spell bottle recipe, crystal ritual. It doesn't matter. Literally whatever. Okay. Maybe a tea, maybe a magical tea recipe that you like. Send it in. I'm going to compile them all into a book, the Witch's Witch Spell Compendium. And if you send in a contribution of a spell or recipe or whatever, that automatically gets you a free digital copy once it is done. And make sure you give me the name that you want published in the book, because some people don't want their real names published in the book, and that's fine. But make sure you give me the name that you want published in the book so that I know right off the bat. And actually, later on this afternoon, I'm going to go into that email. I've had quite a few contributions already, so I'm going to start organizing that. And just depending on what I get from which areas, on how I will split those out into sections, and this will grow as we go. And you know, I'll continue to put out videos asking people to donate recipes or spells and workings. I will continue to do that. I'll also later on have a more clear, hey, you know, later on you might see me do a video that says, hey, I need more healing spells, you know, or I need more of this type of spell or this type of working, so that you know, we can make sure we have a good like spell. Gosh, exactly. But yeah, I mean, of all faiths, of all paths, you know, maybe grandma taught you something that you'd like to share with everybody. So please, please, please be in Nana's book at gmail.com. Please send me those so I can get this put together and we can get this out there. Hey, Oma, I'm getting ready to get off. Hey, don't forget my book. Email me at, see at the bottom right there, be in Nana's book at gmail.com. I am compiling a book. Send me spell recipe, healing recipe, tea recipe, spell jar recipe, mojo bag recipe. It doesn't matter. Send me something. I'm compiling them into a compendium. Anybody who sends something in automatically gets a free digital copy of the book. So anyway, I love you all. Have a blessed Passover for those of you who are celebrating that. I am going to go move chicks out to the barn. So I love you. See you later.